So why not do it then? Why are you letting the devil talk you out of it?
I don't know. I mean, as I said, every time I want to do that, it's like those memories just come back, you know?
That's the devil.
And I just,
Pop, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
hey, yes, how you doing, man?
All is well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing very good.
Good.
I called before. This is my second time calling, and I was calling mainly to talk about, usually you talk about forgiving your mother and your father.
Yes.
Forgiving your mother for being ill and your father for being too weak to protect you from your mother. That's what you usually say.
Yeah, your mother for turning you away from your father by imposing her will on you and
Yeah,
making you think that she is a victim when she's really the victimizer. And your
yeah,
father for not being able to protect you from her because he never got over his mother, so the woman he's with is his mother.
yeah. So I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. And
Okay.
this is why. For most of my life, I'm 23 right now, my father, even though he will never admit it, was an abuser. The things he would do to me and my sister are
Can you speak up a little bit for me?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
The things he do to my sister and I were unspeakable. And it's three of us. It's me. I have an older sister, and then it's me. And then I have a younger sister. He's more friends with my younger sister because he never did to her what he did to us. But at a point in time, I remember he was our favorite parent because let me give you a little backstory. We're not from the U.S., right? We're originally from Senegal, a country in West Africa.
Okay.
And we came to the U.S. in 2006. And prior to 2006, my dad was here alone. So we were back in Senegal with just my mom. She was raising us, and he was here working on bringing us over. And every year he'd come for vacation, and I remember those were the best times of our lives. He would bring us presents. He would bring us all sorts of stuff a kid could want, right? And whenever it was time for him to come back here, we'd be sad. Until 2006 came around, and he's like, y'all are moving in with me back in the U.S. So we're like, oh, now we get to be around him for good? Wow, that's going to be heaven. We come to the U.S., this man changes up so quick on us. It's unbelievable. He starts beating me and my sister. At 9 years old, he punched me with a closed fist in the mouth because I didn't do my math homework. What he would do to me if I went to a parent-teacher conference and the teacher said one thing, like maybe, okay, first of all, what 9-year-old child, 7-year-old child isn't, like, doesn't have a lot of energy, right? At that age, you're supposed to be hyperactive. You're supposed to be jumping around, hooping and hollering, as you say. And I don't know what expectation he had for me at that age, but as soon as we went to a parent-teacher conference or anything, and anything bad was said about me, oh, he talks so much, oh, he does this, he does that, yada, 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 yada. What he would do, he would take me home, he would take off all my clothes, put me in the shower, make me bend on my knees, and hit me on my back with a belt buckle until my back was numb. That's what he would do to me.
How old are you now?
I am 23 now, and I'm talking about this. I was 9 years old when he was doing this to me.
Did your mother come with you guys or just you and your sister?
My mom was living with us, but she was too scared to intervene.
And so your question is what?
My question is, how can you say that moms are the... And I'm not going to lie, before I go back to that, my mom, she would comfort us after all this happened. And from time to time, she would intervene. But I don't want to get into that whole story, but like a lot of the time she couldn't because, you know, I don't think I need to get into all
Right.
that extra
Right.
stuff. But
Yeah. Were you closer to your mother or your father?
I'm still closer to my mother to this day. The thing is, my father now, he wants to, I guess, mend make amends now. Like, you know, but the thing is with him, he's a high earner, right? He makes a lot of money. And from his perspective, saying, buying you gifts and buying you a shit ton of stuff, excuse my language, a lot of stuff makes up for all his shortcomings, all of the stuff he did. Like, he will never come and say sorry. He's the type of man, like, he won't say sorry, but he'd rather buy you something and be like, oh, this is to say that I'm sorry. But he won't actually come to you and say, I am sorry for what I did. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And yeah.
And did you ask him, have you ever asked why did he treat you that way?
I'm not going to lie, no.
Why not?
Because I have so much anger for him, so much resentment.
And what good is that doing you?
It does me no good, to be honest.
Why don't you let it go then?
Because, Jesse, it's hard, man.
No, it's not. What do you mean by that first? When you say it's hard, what's hard about letting
It's hard to forgive him for me because, believe me, I've been listening to your show for a while now. For a while. And I have thought many times about forgiving him. But it's like, in some instances when I'm just sitting down and I want to, but all those events come back in mind. All the shit that happened. Excuse me, I'm sorry for that language. All the stuff that he's done to me and my sisters come back in mind. And in my mind, I'm just like, how could you do that to your own child? And I get so angry in the moment. I have to catch myself. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, all of this past, why are you getting so angry over something that was like 10 years ago, 13 years ago, right? So I catch myself in those moments. But I'm not going to lie, it's really hard for me to forgive him. Because it'd be easier if he would admit, just like I admit to him, that I wasn't a perfect child. There's stuff that I've done in the past. You know, another quick story. When I was around 12, 13, around that age, I used to steal a lot. At school, in store, just petty stuff like gum, whatever.
What do you think will happen if you would like for your father to come and apologize, admit that he was wrong? I understand that. But what would you think will happen to you if you forgave your father?
I know that I'd be a lot more at peace than I am right now. And I wouldn't have, like, bursts of anger here and there. I know that for sure.
And why don't you go for the peace rather than the hell?
I want to, man. I really do.
So why not do it then? Why are you letting the devil talk you out of it?
I don't know. As I said, every time I want to do that, it's like those memories just come back, you know?
That's the devil.
And I just think, like, how, like, because I would never in a million years think about doing, and trust me, I haven't even gone deep into the stuff that he's done to us, Jesse. This is just surface level stuff. The things that I've told you are just surface level. Some things are too much. I can't even say them on the phone.
But why do you think the devil keep reminding you of that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He want to keep you in your hell with him. He want to dwell in your body and mind. And because if you ever forgave, then he will have to depart from you and you will be free. And he doesn't want you to be free. He has to live in human beings. And that's why he keep reminding you of something that doesn't even exist. Does it exist now? Is your father doing that to you right now?
No.
So it doesn't even exist anymore. When it happened then. When it was over then. It's not even existing, but the devil makes you think that it is. And when he reminds you, you feel the pain of it.
That's true. Yeah, I do.
Do you think, let's say that your father came to you and he said, you know what, Pop, son, I'm sorry. I was so wrong. And your father was on bending knees, boo-hooing, and he apologized. What do you think will happen to you?
I mean, I'm not sure.
You
I
would,
like that either. Honestly, I just want it to be a man-to-man thing, you know? I'm old enough now. I'm a man. He's a man. Just
you want it to
it
be
doesn't even
what?
have to be a whole. It doesn't even have to be a whole get on your knees sob story. All that. Just
I know, I understand, but what
just say you're
I
sorry.
exaggerated the point to see what do you think will happen if your father came to you and said, "I'm sorry"?
I would forgive him. I would forgive him.
No, you won't.
Why wouldn't I?
You won't be free, and you will not forgive him. Because if you were going to forgive him, you would know that you don't need him to apologize for anything. You don't need him to come to you and admit anything. You need to forgive him because the unforgiveness is what keeping you in the hell of memory and pain. And that's where the evil spirit want you. If you don't forgive your father by seeing that you're wrong, without him having to come to you, you're never going to be free, Pop. And the reason you're hurting is because you're wrong, whatever he did. You're wrong for resenting him, and you're paying the price of being wrong for that because the pain from the physical body is gone, but the pain of the soul is still lingering because it has not been healed. The real you has not been healed. The fake you, the body that you live in has, but your soul need a healing, and that only comes from God. When you see that you're wrong for resenting your father, he is going through the same misery that you're going through because of his parents and whatever happened in his life. He only gave you back what he had to give. And just like your mother is not a victim in any of this either. I know she's playing victim, pretending that she had nothing to do with it, but she played a role in what your father has done too.
Yeah.
She's not innocent at all. You might not see it, but she knows she's not innocent. She has turned his children away from him.
Okay. See, I struggle with that point a little. I don't understand what you mean by she turned us away from him.
By making you be close to her. You had no business being close to your mother. You nor your sister. Had your mother been of good will and good spirit, she would have made sure that you guys stayed close to your father, because the fight and battle that they were having had nothing to do with you guys, but she made it be a part of your life by making you be close to her, by playing victim. Your mother is not a victim.
Yeah, but another point, I mean, at one point, we were super close to our father.
No, you weren't. You were not close because you weren't living with him, and he would bring you gifts and stuff like that. So you felt like you loved him, but you were not close to your father. You were close to your mother.
That's true. That's true.
So you have never been close to him, and she has not allowed that to happen. And that's when I ask, what were you close to him? Because by being close to your mother, you saw your father through your mother's eyes. So when he dealt with you and your sister, it was the same spirit as dealing with your mother. Because you guys saw him the same way she saw him.
That's true. That's very true.
Your mother is not an angel, man. And you should forgive her too, but whether they admit that they're wrong, either one of them or both of them admit that they're wrong or not, I'm telling you, man, when you forgive them, you will go free, and the devil will stop playing this game in your imagination, causing you unnecessary grief.
I understand.
So I would just ask your father, before you forgive me, just ask, why were you so mean to me and my sister? What made you do that? And hear him out, and then forgive him. And even if he doesn't admit anything, you still forgive him. I'm sorry for resenting you, so that God can forgive you and take that spirit of evil from your imagination and emotions. You are
I understand.
wrong. The reason you're suffering is that not because of what your father did, but because you're unforgiven.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to work on that because at this point right now, I feel like and I know you say like emotions are evil, but you know they're still here. So I'm gonna definitely have to really, really, really work on that.
But there's no work to do. You can't work on it. You got to go and
Hmm.
forgive so you can let go, and the spirit of God who love you will work on evil for you. You can't do anything about it. You just need to invite the truth inside of you by forgiving so he can do the work for you.
Got it.
And do you see now that your mother is not an angel?
I definitely see that. I see the role she had in it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I do see it. I do see it.
And you need to go and forgive her as well. And if she cried, try to blame your daddy and all that, you forgive her for what she's done and let her act the way she wants to because it's time for you to live now. You're a grown man. It's time to. Are you living on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm living on campus at the university.
Oh, okay. It's time for you to have a life now. But if you don't
Hmm.
forgive both of them, you're just going to repeat what happened to you. You're just going to repeat what happened to them is now in you. You're just going to repeat their life and not have your life. You can be a free man as soon as you forgive. And your life will be totally different. And so if you should get married and make children, they'll have love and not hate. And they'll be fine. You start a new generation of love and not a generation of angry people.
I see it. I will do that then.
And the devil is trying to talk you out of it. That's not you talking yourself out of it. He's talking you out of it and giving you the grief that goes with it, making you feel justified in hating your father and your mother. And there's no reason to ever, I don't care what happens in life, no matter what happens, no matter how so-called bad or good it is, there's never a reason to be angry. Never a reason.
I hear you. I understand.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Not every day.
And so I recommend you start, right now you want to start working your life by being aware of what's going on, right? So I recommend you do the silent prayer and just watch those thoughts, knowing that you're not your thoughts, and go and forgive your parents. Hey, parents, I'm sorry for resenting y'all. Whatever y'all mess was, I now understand it. And I'm sorry, but I would ask my father, why did that happen so you can understand him better? Because if you don't return to your father, it's impossible to return to God.
All right. I'll definitely do that.
Will you let me know how it goes?
I will. I will definitely call back and let you know how it went.
And don't let the devil or any human being or anyone talk you out of forgiving so that you can work on your life.
I hear you. 100%.
All right?
All right, man. I appreciate the advice.
All right, but let me know how it goes, all right?
100%. All right, man. You have a good morning.
You too. Amazing. There is never, ever, 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 but never, 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 ever a reason to be angry. Really, I promise you that. There's never a reason. You only hurt yourself when you do it.